They got Willa. They got my daughter. I need to find her.
From acclaimed director Paul Thomas Anderson.
You can save that girl.
Today, experience what is being called the best movie of the year.
This is the end of the line. Not for you.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Tiana Taylor, Chase Infinity.
Let's go!
One battle after another. Now playing only in theaters. Experience it in IMAX. Rated R. Under 17 animated without parent.
You can hide.
News team, assemble!
It's back and bigger than ever. It's the Unofficial 40 from Soonerscoop.com. Now, here's the entire Sooner Scoop crew. Carrie, Josh, Eddie, and
George.
All right, welcome back. It is another edition of the Unofficial 40 podcast right here on Soonerscoop.com podcast, where we got the crew back together again. Josh McQuistion coming in from Houston Studio B. We've got Eddie Radosevich, who is deep into the postseason baseball playoffs, and George Schroeder, who some people think need a bigger TV in his office.
George Schroeder.
See, this is what happens.
Did you just call me George Schroeder?
This is what happens.
57 seconds in.
This is what happens when you put together a ridiculous thing for the Red River rivalry.
I'm not doing the pod today.
Oh God, don't do this. For a Red River rivalry that has Barry Switzer, Mac Brown, and George Schroeder moderating. That's living rent free in my head. Like, George Schroeder quit the business. Like, how long has it been? 8 years? 10 years? He's in the ministry now.
The only thing I remember at George is I could never, like when we were in a scrum, and like I still did some team stuff back at that point, and I just remember he talked so softly I could never hear what he actually asked Bob.
He also wrote shorthand, which is like Sanskrit. Like, no one does that anymore. So anyway, welcome back to the podcast. George Stoya, my apologies. Very apologetic here.
I forgive you.
I'm sorry. It does stand, though, and I think you need to defend yourself here, because last Saturday you were showing it. You and the boys were having a weekend watching some football, and you panned around the room, and we saw Finn and Scoop sitting there tuckered out. You must have taken them for a walk before.
They just like sleeping.
But you panned around your room, and people thought, they asked me if I would give you a raise so you can get a bigger TV.
I will take the raise. But I don't know if I'll spend it on a TV. That TV is 50. That TV is 50 inches, which is in that office, which I honestly don't spend a ton of time in there. It's actually perfect size. If I could get bigger, I'm sure, but
pause.
I knew that was coming.
There was a joke in there.
It's just a big wall.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
It's
a big wall. Defense. It's a big wall.
It's a big wall, and I was zoomed all the way out on my phone.
You were in wide angle, which kind of
which makes my
perspective.
In the same video, my monitor looks massive. It's not. It's a regular sized monitor,
which is a little bit of a humble brag because he's just meaning that he got the iPhone 17 as well. So
yes,
that's what it is.
It is pretty sweet, this 17. But I'm sure someday I'll put a bigger TV in there. But that TV is perfectly fine. Gets the job done. Like I said, I very rarely actually watch TV in there.
And my response to the people that say give him a raise is George has done this to himself by bringing another dog into the house, and now he's poor because he's taking them to doggy daycare.
I'm not poor.
Constantly.
I just my time is definitely more consumed in terms because he's a puppy. He's great though. I love him. He's awesome.
All right, Josh McQuistion joins us from Houston HQ, and Josh, I know the recruiting game has really struck up, especially the 2027 class, not the 2007, but 2027. And Sooners just seem to be getting commitments left and right. And right now, what is the class currently ranked today? Are they still number 2?
I don't know of any changes. There shouldn't be.
I would imagine so.
Eddie put up a 2 figures.
They are still number 2 behind Penn State. And, now, interestingly, I just noticed this. Cooper Hackett, because 24/7 has updated the ranking, he is no longer technically an industry 5-star because 24/7 now has him at 29 in the country, which kind of impacts the way he's actually ranked. So now
24/7 bought and paid for by Texas Tech. Pretty clear.
Apparently, there's some punishment over the flip of commitment. So, Texas Tech is now running everything.
So, yeah, we're going to get to that all today, but obviously you guys are getting ready to come up tomorrow, the game day preview. You had an interview with Andy Staples where we taped it today, but you'll hear from that tomorrow. Great interview going over the kind of the national landscape, the SEC landscape, but obviously Oklahoma not playing a great opponent this weekend in Kent State, one of the worst teams in Division I, but plenty of things like Javonnie Gibson getting back out on the field, Michael Hawkins getting back out there as a starter again. We're going to talk about the John Mateer stuff and everything that's going around. We will not have Dr. Shin on as a guest. George has tried to reach him through his office, but he was hung up on apparently.
I think it's funny. I was listening to Andy and Ari's show on, I think it was Saturday. They also tried to get Dr. Stephen Shin. And I know ESPN has reached out to Stephen
I'm sure
Shin.
he just got bombarded.
I think he has declined all interviews so far.
He's probably a busy man with all the famous people he's operated on. I'm sure everyone.
I think
and their
he does
daughter
not
wants
care about
surgery.
your memes. He's going about his business.
So he will not be showing up at the Red River rivalry to wear the golden hat if they win.
I'm not ruling that out, but I don't know. I did hear Gabe tease that they might do something with him on the intro video or something on Saturday.
Would be just ridiculous and spectacular all at the same time.
It would be awesome if they did that.
That'd be amazing.
So anyway, we're going to talk more about John Mateer, but you know what? We want to talk a little bit about Eddie and his excellent eyesight because he has perfect vision.
I do have perfect vision. I have perfect hearing as well. I know this isn't a hearing spot, but been listening to a lot of Crosby, Stills, and Nash Young this week. Football season is upon us, Sooner Nation, and that means it's the perfect time to dial in your vision before you miss any Sooner magic. The SEC schedule, not easy. Certainly not going to be easy when Oklahoma gets back to the SEC schedule in a matter of a week with the OU Texas game. But thankfully to LASIK and Enjoy Vision, you can schedule a free consultation today. Go to letter NJOYvision.com. That is letter NJOYvision.com, enjoyvision.com, and schedule a free consultation today. We'll get you in there and get you seeing perfectly, clearly, and ready to go for the Cotton Bowl next weekend. Football season is why you LASIK. Enjoy Vision is where you LASIK.
I don't know if I probably shouldn't say this, but I did look up Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and I went to Google News.
They made a song about Kent State.
About the shooting?
I mean, unfortunately, yes, but it's a catchy tune.
God, I already regret this. Okay.
It's a good song, is it not? Yes or yes?
I don't even know what the song is.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, I've heard it. My dad listened to them growing up.
It's a good song, Josh, is it not?
It's a good song. Ohio is the name of the song.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Okay, let's just move on.
It's
let's just
obviously
move on.
a sad
let's
subject.
just move on.
It's a sad subject.
Because you know what? I have heard about peptides, and I'm interested in peptides. And Cody Drug, Will Douglas says that they are the future of medicine. Cody Drug compounds them every day in their state-of-the-art sterile lab. They have peptides for weight loss, energy, focus, with popular names like Sermorelin, which triggers natural growth hormone release for anti-aging, fat loss, improved sleep, muscle growth, and recovery. I was actually going to contact Will about this because I saw some stuff on the Instagrams about how good this stuff is for anti-aging, and I wanted to try it. Now, they don't have anything that will heal a quarterback's thumb overnight, but they can help you look and feel your best. Cody Drug loves teaming up with Oklahoma providers and med spas to get you your high-quality custom peptide therapies safely and fast. Visit CodyDrugRx.com to get started, but I will say, they are always on top of this. Will's always on top of this. I see the peptides thing, and who knows how much of that stuff... I'll tell you this. IG robs me blind all the time. I buy stuff. I don't know how you guys are, but I don't know if they're AI, like talk shows or what, but they sell stuff so well. And as you get older, you're like, I might want to try that. I think I have a bag of I don't know what that is, sitting in the conference room. I ordered it, and it's just sitting. I'm not going to do it.
You have a problem.
I have a lot of problems. But Instagram... marketing it's killing me.
We have a working theory that you just like to buy things and like the excitement of opening the package.
Yes.
as maybe more so, Josh, than like actually getting the contents out of the box. I've worked here
for 3 years. There has not been a day that I have come into the office that we have not received a package.
Shut up. That's a lie. You can't say stuff like that in front of Josh. You're going to make him freak out.
But no, this is what this is called. This is an
intervention.
This is
100% a lie.
This is what happens when you schedule Kent State, all right?
And trust me, buying all this shit for the office and the studios, it has made me hate getting packages. Because what you two juckleheads don't realize is that I'm the one that has to sit here and wait on that shit.
Yeah. If you order something, it's for you.
It's for the office.
We don't need it. That's a blanket statement. We don't need it, Josh. How about that?
This company would be an iPhone and a desk if we left it up to you.
Yes. It'd be awesome. It'd be so easy.
You would have transcribed video would be our stories.
I mean,
Eddie, like
you might be give us an idea.
Who was the lady, I want to say like a little while after COVID, that became super famous for like her simplicity? Like everything was just like, don't keep anything.
Was it like
her name?
Marie Hoda or something like that?
Yeah. The
lady that you can hire to come into a house and tell you if you love it or not love it or list it, but it's something along those lines, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it was something like
she's like a hoarder or something.
Yes.
Would she? I feel like
a professional organizer. That's what you're talking about.
Like,
you're talking about professional organizers.
There's too much happening here. Like Eddie's like you've got too much stuff. You need to calm down. I feel like Eddie. Anything that isn't absolutely essential is just not in his house.
I feel like Eddie is just shitting on one of my great moments right now because I have never felt better about all the boxes. I mean, Eddie helped me drag out boxes.
The studio's awesome.
He helped me drag out boxes to the trash can. There were so many of them. We filled up the trash can. I was like, we got to stop. We got to let other people on Campus Corner have a trash bin.
We're lucky that you saved the neighborhood.
I did save the neighborhood. There was a fire, and I was leaving, and there was smoke coming out of the thing, and I was just going to leave and be like, oh, it's going to flame out. So I drove back around, and the smoke was getting worse, and I called 911.
Did they ever say what it was?
I think somebody just threw a cigarette in there. It's probably Eddie started it.
I don't smoke anymore.
I will say in this argument, I can see both sides because the studio is awesome. And obviously, we had a lot of stuff delivered for that. At the same time, we have an entire room full of stuff that I don't know what.
That just needs to be thrown away. It's just boxes that are empty from the studio. We started last night. I just explained this. We started last night. We filled up the dumpsters. And we said, let's give the dumpsters a break, so we'll take more tomorrow. So, George, are you helping us drag things out to the dumpster?
All you got to do is ask.
Well, you probably have to go pick up your dog.
Marie Kondo's the name of that lady, Josh. That was going to really bug me.
Marie Kondo.
I've watched George take out lots of trash. I believe George is good for that job.
Yes.
He will absolutely do it.
Literally, all you got to do is ask, or you don't even have to ask. A lot of times I just take it out.
He did take out the trash the other day.
Marie Kondo's the lady that would ask, does this spark joy? And you would have, and if you say yes, you get to keep it. If it doesn't spark joy, you say no.
I'll admit.
But see, to be fair, everything that Kerry has delivered does spark joy in him. He is legitimately happy about those things.
For the first 30 seconds that the box is opened.
Does anybody else crank out content like we do?
No.
Yes or no?
No, that's a fact.
And that's because of all the shit I buy. And Eddie and George, and you, Josh. And Bob.
And Bo, man.
Oh. I got Bob in there.
I do want a... never mind.
I do want... Yes, there are luxury items that we are thinking about.
Yes.
Massage chairs... Top of the list.
That's not what I was thinking.
100% don't.
That is not what I was talking about at all.
I'm buying it with my own money, though. I'm not using company funds to buy that.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
I was like, this far, no farther.
It looks like we don't have a spot for it in this building. Maybe at your home. You could put it there. I have this feeling that we're going to.
What are we doing with the room with the crap in it? What are we going to do with that room?
That's going to be your bedroom.
Purpose. Yeah,
that'll be your bedroom.
You can just move in up here.
George.
Actually, no, that's a bad idea.
I do think we need like a couch and TVs in that room.
Go home and watch TV.
Yeah.
What do you want, George? What do you want?
Well, the thing that I was gonna say is I just want a new tripod thing to film on my phone.
Well, I'm gonna get you a gimbal.
So yeah, that'd be awesome. But
because you're doing a great job with Instagram.
I think it would be fun to have a studio in there that's like a more like relaxed deal.
Josh, this is just another studio run that we're about to go through after 2 years.
No, we're not
which I
finished
think we
with
are
the
kind of
new
getting
one.
closer.
We're not
getting
finished with
closer,
the new
though.
one yet.
We're close, though. We're close.
Carrie, give
not
the people,
Lincoln Riley close, but we're close.
Everybody wants to know when John Mateer is going to play, but I think what's on everybody else's mind is when will we get to shoot in the studio for the first time?
Taylor Swift's coming to record a acoustic album in the new studio at the beginning of next week.
I can't answer that question. I mean, it will be soon. I mean, I want it to be tomorrow, but we have to do the Dante in there. We got to do the mics. We got to get your inner ear things ordered, your IFBs, all that crap. We got to figure out how we're shooting things. We got to figure out how Josh shows up, to where we see him. We probably got to get more TV monitor stands like this one.
So maybe by
it's all little stuff.
January of 2026 when Oklahoma's celebrating a national championship. Maybe like the national championship preview could be done from the new studio.
It'll be before Tilly Norwood shows up in a major motion picture.
Don't know who that is, but I'll take your word for it.
I don't know what any of that means.
That means give or take a couple more years?
Who's Tilly
Norwood? I don't know who that is.
She's this AI actress that they made in Denmark, and Hollywood is losing their shit.
You've gotten sucked
she's hot.
way too far into the AI.
She's AI. Of course she's hot. They're not going to make her ugly.
This isn't a real person?
No.
Have you seen the ones where people are getting AI babies?
Oh my God! What were those?
Well, those people are mentally ill.
What were those keychain animals you had to take care of?
Furby?
Oh,
or not Furby?
Like
Tamagotchi?
Tamagotchi. Yeah. What's
I used to take my sister. She would have one, and I'd take it and I'd just kill it. And then she'd have to like restart the process or whatever.
Very on. Isn't it when you killed him? Wasn't it dead? Like you couldn't restart it?
Nah, I don't think so.
Like you had to go buy another one. I thought.
I don't remember how that works.
Ultimately,
I don't think it like ever died. You just had to like nurse it back to health.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but let's talk some football.
We did it. That's all right. We found the point of demarcation.
Tamagotchis is bring that up.
To be fair, there's a lot to talk about, but also it's like it's Kent State.
Well, it's kind of like we talked about with Andy, and you see it as Carrie said on the game day preview this week. There's a lot of stuff with Oklahoma that is unfortunately not going to be decided this weekend, but I think it will be the beginning of that decision point once you jump back into conference play. And obviously, John Mateer's health and everything that goes with that is ultimately like the top story.
Well, and I asked Andy this question, and I'll ask you guys this question. Do you guys think that OU is the 5th best team in the country right now?
Josh, you can go.
It's to me the question is how much of that are we letting John Mateer factor into the conversation? Because if you're saying, okay, yeah, without John Mateer, absolutely not. No question. To me though, guys, when I look around college football, I think there's no great team. I don't think it exists this year. I think there's a lot of really good ones. I think there's absolutely someone's going to win the national title, so someone will be the team of this year. But guys, I could make a legit case for 10 to 12 teams this year. Like I think that exists. Look at our rankings. I put them up right before we started. Guys, you both have Ole Miss as number 1 in the SEC right now. I have them number 7. Like I get where you're coming from, but they played in dogfights with Arkansas and Kentucky.
Sure.
And then they beat an LSU team that I don't know if they're any good.
Yeah.
And so it's like that's not a shot at you guys. Like I think there's a lot of wild variation, and I think we're going to start to sort it out over the next few weeks. But if you tell me OU's 5 in your poll, okay, fine. If you tell me they're 10 or 11, I don't have a problem with that either. Like I get the argument.
I remember, we were all kind of commenting on some things on the Georgia-Alabama game, and you, Josh, kind of brought this up. Like it's really weird when you have the 2 best historical teams and both of them have issues defensively. Like it's just such a different conference right now because, I mean, A&M I think is really good. I mean, I they scare me. But then Marcel Reed did not play that well against Auburn, which is a good defense.
They just kept giving Auburn opportunity. Like I kept screaming like, all Auburn has to do is go move the football a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the reality is everyone is kind of good in the conference.
And every team has a little something, though, that you can point at and say, well, they could be a national title contender, but they're going to have to be better here.
Or something that you can point to and say, well, they can play with that team this week. Like Florida, Texas is a good example. Florida, I don't think is very good, but you go, well, they could play with Texas.
You give them a shot.
Yeah, you give them a shot. Just like Auburn. I don't think Auburn's a great football team, but you're like, well, they'll have a shot in every game because the defense is kind of good and they got some playmakers at receiver.
It's just a weird combination because I don't know that OU is elite on offense. I don't think they are at this point.
No.
But they're really good on defense and better than we've seen them in a decade at least. I mean, but at the same time, is A&M elite on offense? I mean, if Marcel Reed has a great game, but he overthrows people more than anybody I've seen play. I mean,
and that's what's maybe disappointing about Oklahoma
and
right now.
Auburn. I mean, Jackson Arnold is still just Jackson Arnold.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a guy that holds onto the ball too long. He gets sacked a lot, and half of them at least are his own fault.
Finish training for the day? Time to fight post-workout fatigue with Core Power Protein Shakes. They're packed with 26 grams of high-quality protein to build muscle and electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to help your body replenish, rebuild, and repair post-workout so you can power on to the next one. Champion your recovery with Core Power. Visit corepower.com to learn more.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah, and what I was going to say is that's maybe what's disappointing for Oklahoma in this moment, in the sense that they've gotten through these first 4 games without an elite offense, but there's been moments where like, oh, maybe by the end of the season, they can be an elite offense. And so this injury to Mateer, while we'll see when he comes back, like this would be a great week. I know it's a great week for Mike Hawkins to get out there and play, but it would be another great week for Mateer also to get more reps, be out there, get this offense going, and kind of, again, I'm not saying they'd be elite by the end of the year, but maybe they could be really good by the end of the year.
That's what's so interesting about the next couple of weeks, because I think that, like, of course, the Mateer injury is the big headline, but it felt like coming out of the Auburn game, the Michigan game, you had found your offensive line, and then they got hurt at the end of the Temple game, right? And so that kind of reset everything because you're having to just survival of offensive linemen against Auburn. Like, now that it does feel like offensive line-wise, you're in a good spot. We talked to Fabechi on Monday night. George, you wrote about it on Wednesday boarding. Now that you have the offensive line, you got to get Mateer back. But I think that there is hope that there is something here as you add somebody like a Javonnie Gibson into the receiving core. But nothing's going to matter if they can't figure out a way to run the football. And I think that, like, you want to certainly take a step this week. You should. Kent State's awful. Florida State almost ran for 500 yards against them. You want to take some confidence out of this going into the Cotton Bowl, where it's kind of the cliche line, but it is so true. The team that runs the football down there usually finds a way to win the game.
I think there's quite a bit of difference in like John Mateer was good at Washington State. He's playing against better competition, and he's going to play against better competition. So that always puts you under a microscope. So we don't know how elite John Mateer can be. I think he's had some, and I know Gabe put it out there, and we had talked about it. We kind of knew about it, and talked about it, that he kind of has a knee issue, and then you add the thumb onto it. But I think after you watch the Michigan game, I noticed, Eddie, you have B-roll of John Mateer running that touchdown against Michigan.
Yeah,
the one that's coming to you and you're on the left side.
Well, they're all coming to me.
Well, yeah.
Because he had the one
coming directly
in the
at
second
you,
quarter, and
basically.
then he had the one in the fourth quarter, right?
It was the one where he's untouched coming in.
That was a beautiful run.
The force he was running with, I mean, he just looked like a wild animal. You look at the Temple stuff and on, you can tell there's an intensity running the football that he kind of lost a little bit because you could tell he was suffering through a little bit of knee soreness or whatever it was.
To be clear, though, it's not a serious knee injury, nothing to worry about. Like I would assume actually by the time he returns, he's fine.
Sure.
I think he'll
right.
be
I think it was a sprained knee,
it's just
a very minor sprain. Yeah.
And we say all this, but he did get hurt. When he got hurt, he was the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah.
Well, and here was kind of where I was going to. Like, there are those guys like John Mateer that they are really good players, and then they go play against better competition. It's kind of like, like I was surprised Bo Nix has played so well in the NFL because I thought the NFL would kind of expose him a little bit. And maybe it still will. But, like, that's what John Mateer is doing right now. He's playing in a better league. Now, younger guys like Michael Hawkins, Josh, like, we've seen him play a little bit of football, not a lot, but a decent amount. And then we saw him play against Temple, and he still kind of looked like the same guy. I mean, he granted it wasn't a big sample size, but, like, how often do you remember a guy that played young and had some flaws that just got noticeably better, or changed even not changed his skill set, but got so much better at his skill set he became a dominant player?
It's a short list. Like, I feel like the guys that are special, they show you they're special pretty fast.
Right.
Like even if it's only for a couple plays or something like that. And obviously with Michael, you can point to that run against Auburn, made a huge play, made the downfield throw
to J.J. Hester.
Yeah, just went blank there. There's some stuff there where you kind of buy into it, but there's never been that moment, like, and even in the Temple game, in that limited sample where you're like, well, he's in control of this. Like, he really has a handle on it. And last year, but, again, it's so hard. Like, how do you put last year in any way on him?
That's
like,
what I was about
to do with him.
That's exactly what it is. Like, I feel like he got thrown into such a bad situation last year.
Well, that game plan against Texas was a joke.
We look at it negatively when in reality, how much of that was his fault? Because I do think, like, over the course of what we saw from Hawkins a year ago, the last time that we truly, truly saw him outside of the Temple game in mop-up duty, I thought he was okay against Navy. He certainly missed some throws, and he was working with a group that wasn't very good. But I thought him and Zion Kearney had a nice connection. I think it ended up 28 of 43, 271, 2 touchdowns, had like 70 on the ground.
They went for that drive too late in the game.
Yeah, and it was a really good drive.
Yeah.
So I am kind of excited, in I guess a real sicko way, to just see Michael Hawkins if he is going to be kind of that guy in 2026. If you can start forecasting for what's to come.
I think the biggest thing with Hawkins, for me at least, is like I think he's got great athleticism. I think he's got a great arm, all of that stuff. For me, it's like, can he on like 3rd and 4 when they've got a clear concept they're working and he's got to go through like 1-2 progressions, like can he sit in there and deliver that throw in a tight window or right at the sticks or wherever it needs to be? Like that's the question I have with him, because I think he's got a lot of talent. I just wondered, like, in those moments, can he deliver? Because that's what I think John Mateer is really good at, is like he'll show off the arm and make some good throws or scramble and make a play. I think Michael Hawkins can do all those things too. But John knows this offense so well. He throws guys open. He knows where his reads are at. He knows where the sticks are at. Like he's just been very good at that. And that's what you want to see from Michael. And I don't know if we'll see that against Kent State, but that's what you want to see. When it's 3rd and whatever, and you're running something to a certain player, can he make the right throw to make the right read?
It's a lot like that play that Mateer had against Michigan, where he looks like he's done for. He squirms out of the tackle and then finds Satania downfield
down the sideline. Yeah.
I mean, like that's what you want to see. Like even Baker, that offense struggled in 2015. They started the season with Akron. They went to Tennessee. But even in that Tennessee game, Baker was making those plays where he was scrambling around, buying himself extra time, giving the offense a chance to come to life. And he always had that. And now that you have a competent offensive coordinator, and I don't want to call Seth Luttrell incompetent, but it was horrible. But now that you have a successful offensive coordinator, I guess I could say, I want to see if there's a little bit of magic that Michael Hawkins can sprinkle out on that field Saturday. And it is Kent State, I get it, but still.
Guys, for you, can he do enough? Like, let's say Mateer comes back for South Carolina. Let's just say the next 2 games are Michael Hawkins. Can he do enough in those 2 games? I mean, and like anything's possible. Put it however you want to. where you would say OU doesn't have to look at the portal in 2026 if John Mateer would head to the NFL? Like, do you think he can prove enough in those 2 weeks to answer all those questions?
If they beat Texas and he's the quarterback and he throws for like 2 touchdowns and is efficient, doesn't make the big mistake, then yeah.
I would agree with that, but I still think that you'll probably need to dip back in, just depending on like what happens with
not necessarily. Like if you keep Whit Neubauer and Jet New and Bo
I keep
Bentley
thinking that he's
Bentley,
a senior for some reason, Whit Neubauer.
No, he's
obviously not.
He's only like a sophomore.
That's kind of been the storyline of the week, is just the fact that it is kind of somewhat unique that they're in the position that they're in with Mateer having the surgery, but you can fall back on. And Arbuckle talked about the depth in the room. I don't know how good that depth is, but you're at least putting a guy in there in Michael Hawkins that he's making his 5th start of his career on Saturday. It's not like he's just a green rookie quarterback.
I do want to say just real quick, if he doesn't perform well though, Josh, or like it's just so-so, then I think you do have to consider, okay, if, these guys enter the portal at quarterback, we have to take a chance on maybe going after one of them.
If he doesn't, guys, I've said it all along. I think 2026 stands a good chance to be a better team than this one. Like, I think that's a very real possibility. And with all that returns, I mean, guys, most of that defense should be back, like a lot of it. And, you look at the offensive line and development, and Torrey Blaylock's a year older, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot there. So, to me, if he doesn't go and light it up, you've got to go in the portal. Like, to me, next year could be kind of an all-in year for Oklahoma if it plays out the way I think it could.
It certainly could too if John Mateer wanted to come back and exercise that extra year.
Yeah, then you're really rolling.
Oh God,
absolutely.
Well, yeah, I'll say this though. To me, this is what if John Mateer doesn't come back for Texas, this is what Texas means to Michael Hawkins. If you go out, you play well, you don't have to play spectacular, but just win the game and do something along the way that you're like, okay, that looked really good. Like, he's probably securing the job for next year just with one game.
Yeah.
Against it. You go out and you play pretty well and you beat Texas. Everyone is going to say, okay, if Mateer leaves, he's our guy. And then we'll redshirt Bo Bentley and see where it goes from there. And then you have a whole year to evaluate whether or not Michael Hawkins is the future, or, of course, he'll only have, 2 years at that, or one more year after that. So, yeah, I mean, I think that game, if he plays, is huge for his, future at the position and in OU's decision-making at that position.
Well, and there's a whole other story that comes along with that he might not even have that opportunity. John Mateer might play against Texas. And what the story, that could be if he comes back, leads OU to a win down at the Cotton Bowl. I mean, you're talking about one of the better OU football stories here in the last 20 years. And I think they've had a pretty decorated run of quarterbacks with Dylan Gabriel getting the nod with Cleveland this week.
If John Mateer comes back and beats Texas, he better have... It doesn't matter if he used the products during his rehab, but he better have every peptide. If we go back to Cody Drug, every peptide imaginable, he should have an NIL deal with and say, that's the reason I was able to come back so quick.
Would he vault himself right back up to the top of the Heisman race?
Absolutely.
If he comes back and beats Texas?
I mean, most likely, because if he did and they won, that would mean that he probably played pretty well.
Could you go as far to say that he could win the Heisman Trophy?
No, because you never know how the rest of the season plays out.
We got to see what happens with Texas.
That's what we talked with Andy about. I mean, the back end of this SEC schedule for everybody is just incredible.
There's a very real scenario. I don't think this is going to happen, but Texas could be walking out of the Cotton Bowl 3-3.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's on the table. I know that our buddy Josh Pate, I think, is picking Florida this week. It's where, Josh, you were kind of talking about it at the beginning of the program, just in terms of it seems like, you get to week 5, week 6 in college football, and there's a lot of narratives that have already kind of created themselves. I think for damn near 10 to 15 teams right now, each one of them feels like they're in pretty good shape because they haven't had those big, massive conference games yet. And everybody's kind of in position to still at least play for, at least be in the tier where you have a realistic chance to win a conference.
Oh, guys, Has this conference ever been this balanced? I mean, we talked about the Big 12 last year. It's the SEC this year. Like, there are 10 or 11 teams that on the right Saturday can beat anybody. And you brought up Florida and Texas. There is – guys, I can't think of a scarier team for Texas to have to go play in this situation. And I know people are like, oh, they've been terrible. They have been. But they're still incredibly talented. You're still going into the swamp. You're like, for people that forget – this is basically the moment last year when Florida figured it out and started playing good football under Billy Napier, the best football they played the whole time he's been there. So, again, I think Texas is going to win the game. But if you told me that they win, Florida wins a rock fight 17-14 or something, I don't think that's crazy because, again, we can talk about, DJ Lagway struggled. The only defense of any meaningful level that Arch Manning has played, he was terrible against. Yeah. So to say, DJ Lagway struggled against LSU, who's to say Arch Manning wouldn't have done the same? I think there's a lot to be answered for, and they both have very good defenses. This may just be an all-time fist fight at the Swamp.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing for people that maybe are like, what are you talking about? It's at the Swamp. I mean, Texas is going on the road here, so that's why we kind of get. I think everybody gets.
It certainly is like the schedule certainly played in Oklahoma's favor up until this point. Like I know we've talked a lot about how difficult Oklahoma's schedule is.
It is,
and it is.
Still
but
is.
Like going into Texas, it's definitely. I mean, you get a bye week and you get Kent State. Like you get 2 weeks to basically prepare for Texas. Whereas Texas has to go to Gainesville.
And we were talking about this before we started, George. But I think that there is like an opportunity here that I'm still kind of in this wait and see mode with Texas. I guess in a way I just kind of expect them to turn it on at some point and Arch to snap out of this little funk that he's in because I still think he's going to be a pretty good quarterback.
It certainly feels like there's a real scenario where he goes up, plays great against Florida, and it's like, oh, Texas got a lot of momentum heading down to Dallas.
Sure.
I'm sure Kirk Bowles would love to keep OU at 13 and move Texas up.
Is that what he had OU at this week? That's great.
By the way, I am
our Austin correspondent on sometime.
The ghost that lives down there. You're talking
yeah.
About? I don't think that'll ever happen, but I don't think it would go very well.
I think it would go great.
I don't think it would.
What about Paul Wallington? Maybe he could come on.
All right. He's too busy writing.
He's going to win a Pulitzer this year, I think.
Award-winning expose on Oklahoma, I think. All right, guys, I want to tell you, I've got a new subscription service. It's not streaming. It's not Sooner Scoop, which you all should be subscribing to. It is Lucy. I've stopped buying things individually. I put up myself on their subscription service. If you don't know about Lucy, it's 100% pure nicotine, always tobacco-free. You can set yourself up with a subscription like I have and have Lucy delivered straight to your door. I'm a wintergreen guy. I've got a little espresso, kind of it's almost like my dessert, Lucy. And, in the mornings, get up, get that nicotine in the system, get going on the radio, and then throughout the day after lunch and then after dinner. It's been great for me. And you can level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. Go to lucy.co/SoonerScoop. That's just / Eddie. And use promo code SoonerScoop, and you get 20% off your first order. Lucy also has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. Again, that's lucy.co. Use that code SoonerScoop to get 20% off. Or jump on a subscription and save like I have. Also, the fine print, got to tell you about it. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. And I like balancing my nicotine with our newest sponsor. Had the banana strawberry protein meal this morning, just the meal replacement. It was fantastic from Huel.
Well, I think the best part about it, Kerry, is I think everybody knows how chaotic the mornings are for both of us getting up to do radio. And all you got to do is have the shaker bottle, and you put the ingredients in, whichever you want to prefer. The BE powder, the Black Edition powder, which is at less than $3 per meal, packed with 40 grams of plant-based protein and 27 essential vitamins. All you got to do is go to Huel.com/SoonerScoop. And you'll get 15% off. And I know that We've had you've had that was the shake,
I did the
right?
vanilla. It was the shake. I'm sorry, it's down on the floor. George, hand me the one of the shakes.
One of the shakes, the strawberry one. That was the one that you liked this
strawberry
morning.
banana, nutritionally complete, ready to drink meal is what it's called. The Black Edition, 35 grams of protein, and it was. I'm having that. I'm ordering a bunch of these.
Also have the daily greens that you can take ingest as well.
Gonna try that
in
one
the cans. So. All you got to do is go to Huel.com/SoonerScoop. Use the promo code SoonerScoop, and you'll get 15% off of your purchase for new customers. Huel is a complete meal, all the nutrients that you need to thrive, and as we said, the 27 vitamins and minerals. So it's really good stuff, and looking forward to our glorious continued support of the good people of Huel. Partnership. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Huel. Okay. So, Josh, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with recruiting. Sooners pick up another commitment. I was so lucky. I landed on the summer camp photo folder that I had and found the latest commit. And, those 2027 kids, Oklahoma's doing really well. And we always ask, what would happen if Brent got off to a hot start, and we're kind of seeing it.
Absolutely. And, for those who have missed it, Mikhail McCreary, defensive back offer from San Antonio Johnson, committed on Monday morning, and is a guy, we've talked about this on a recruiting report. If you haven't watched, go check that out. We've got video highlights to kind of go with the conversation about Mikhail, but he's a guy that just a versatile guy. Like, he played some corner at camp. He played some safety at camp. My initial impression was that he was going to start out at safety. As I talked to more people, I think it might be corner. And he fits. Like, he's a big, long, athletic guy, kind of fits into that, Jacoby Johnson, Cortland Guillory, just big, athletic type of corner that we know Oklahoma really covets. So he's a guy that makes a lot of sense. He's a good fit. And, like I talked about in the report, comes from an area that I think Oklahoma sneakily has done quite well recruiting San Antonio through the years, and is kind of their latest win.
Mikhail McCreary, he was the third top 200 commit in a 4-day period, and this goes all the way back to last Thursday when basically people woke up with the news that not only had Oklahoma flipped Cooper Hackett from Fort Gibson, and you want to watch the breakdown that we did with Josh on the recruiting report from last Thursday, breaking down Cooper Hackett's commitment. And then Caden Penny also joins the ranks in the 2027 group, the offensive lineman out of Bixby, 6'4", 265. We went and saw him. Our guy Harry went up and saw him this past weekend that we did the recruiting report on Monday, kind of recapping everything. But just a tremendous kind of morning and day for Bill Beatenbow. And then obviously Mikhail McCreary kind of capped it on Monday boarding. But Josh, just in terms of, I don't think that we've caught up with you on the Unofficial 40 yet. In terms of Cooper Hackett, Caden Penny, you build an offensive line around those two guys, add in Luke Wilson, who you saw on Friday night. Damn, Bill Beatenbow, really good, strong start in 2027 after 25 in this Michael Fasusi group.
Yeah, I mean, this is how you do it in the SEC. You can't just have we got one good class and we're going to kind of rest on that. I don't think any OU fans are going to be mad to see me picking on Texas a little bit, but that's kind of what Texas did. They had that great class with Devon Campbell and Kelvin Banks and all those guys, and since then really haven't continued to recruit on all that high of a level and land some of the guys you'd expect them to land, including losing Michael Fasusi to Oklahoma last year. And it's burned them. I mean, their offensive line, unlike Oklahoma's, can't say, oh, well, they're super young and they're just going to get better. Like, it's not that kind of conversation. They've got some veteran experience and they're not playing all that well. So I think there's some real questions they're going to have to figure out. But you've got to keep stacking bodies. And I know I say that all the time, but it's just because it's so true. You look at the best, we talked earlier about Georgia and Alabama and kind of where they're at. That's what, to me, fell off about Georgia and Alabama over the last few years. They weren't able to just continue running big bodies at people. And if this guy doesn't pan out, well, we've got the next guy ready to go. They just don't have that depth like that right now. So I think that is very telling. And again, Cooper, huge win. I can't say enough how much he is just kind of over the moon about going to play at Oklahoma. It means a lot to him. And again, people out there that will tell me, oh, NIL's ruined college football and the money and everything else. This kid chose OU over money. Like there's just no other way to argue that. OU did a good, and people will say, oh, that was easy because he's an OU guy. No, it wasn't. I mean, he committed to Texas Tech because they made a sizable offer, and OU did a great job selling him on relationships and his development under Bill Bedenbaugh and all those things that we know OU values a lot. I think Cooper was in lockstep. And then with Caden Penny, guys, I want to give credit. Today, 24/7 updated their ranking. They have Caden Penny as the number 1 guy in the state, number 14 overall player in the class. So you're not like, I know there's kind of this vision of like, oh, Cooper Hackett's the really special one and Caden Penny's along for the ride. Caden Penny's outstanding, guys. Like, he's really, really good. I've compared him to Davin Joseph and his kind of versatility to play guard, play tackle, just overall top-end ability. He's a special player. So to have them, and then you add in Luke Wilson, who's a guy that's going to need some time, kind of reminds me of not like so much in style, but like in a Logan Howland way, like he's going to need a little time. Give him a little, let him develop, let him get bigger and stronger, and then as he fills out that huge frame of his, he could absolutely be kind of a dominant lead run blocking type of tackle for you.
Josh, Braden Allen, the once Tulane commit, I think he just decommitted. Was that yesterday or 2 days ago?
Tuesday.
Yeah. Tuesday. Yeah. What's going on there? It seems like that's good for Oklahoma.
Frankly, I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen anything yet. And I kind of keep waiting to hear like that final little thing like, hey, time to put in a prediction, that kind of thing. And I just haven't heard that. And guys, the longer this goes, it kind of rings that bell that I keep talking about, where is OU really going to look at taking 5 receivers maybe in this class? Because I know they really like the Milan Paris kid that they offered that's committed to Iowa State, the kid out of Ohio that Oregon actually, again, one of those things where OU really doing a nice job with that front office staff, kind of keeping their finger on the pulse around around high school recruiting, because Oregon just offered that kid yesterday. And, he's starting to see his stock really climb. And then obviously we've talked about Davian Gross. So I don't think it's an issue, but I can't rule it out. I can't rule out that they are not looking at the numbers and making sure they can make all this work, because I do think they want Braden Allen. I know they like him. And my impression coming out of his official visit was that he was very, very high on OU. And I don't really expect that Colorado did anything to change the math on that. But when he decommitted, I thought, okay, here we go. Like, I kind of thought we were going to hear something very quickly. And I think that now that George, I told you Tuesday, I think it was Monday evening, if I remember right. I think it was pretty kind of like maybe 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock on Monday night, if I remember right. So I kind of had started to write some stuff up for Tuesday morning, and then I just haven't heard anything that says, oh, yeah, that's imminent, that's going to happen.
I remember, is there still something out there left over from the Hayes Fawcett tease that hasn't happened yet, or did that happen? I can't remember.
I think you're right. I think he said 2, so
yeah,
maybe that's
and
Braden Allen.
There's only been
gone down since then, but nothing else. Yeah.
So it's just been McCreary and nobody. And
yep.
Any guesses what that could be? Is it Braden Allen?
That's very much my feeling, just based on some conversations I've had. And again, I know people out there kind of think like, oh, Hayes works for On 3. He to his credit, he's really good about that with the kids. Like, he doesn't
tell
anybody.
Us shit.
He doesn't put
it frustrated the hell out of us at first. Yeah, but he does.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, you had to get used to it, but it's also why he has a story ready for us every time, that kind of deal. So like there's good and bad with it, but there's no like gamesmanship from us here where we're acting like we don't know something we know. We don't know. So
and I'll say this, with Braden, like, George, I think you and I would be the same way. Like, we're not sharing our scoops with other people outside of our organization.
No, I again, and Hayes, I know we had some run-ins with Hayes when we were still at Rivals, but I've met him several times. He's a good kid. Like, no problems with Hayes at all. So anyway, I say kid. I guess I'm just
you just
old.
pissed him off now. Thanks.
Yeah. Damn it. He's like in his mid-20s. I believe he's engaged. So, he's not a kid. Apologies, Hayes. But anyways, I think that's Braden Allen. I'm pretty confident. And again, like I talked to Braden. I've spoken with him this week. Like it's just there's no clear indication of like, yeah, this is going down. This is about to happen. And the longer this drags on, then why decommit from Tulane? Like why go that route? And I know Tulane still thinks they can pull him back in. So I don't think any of the three schools we're talking about, Colorado, Oklahoma, or Tulane, are giving up on this. But at the same time, I just think if OU wants Braden Allen, I think they'll go get Braden Allen. I think that's as simple as it comes down to. All
right. Obviously, I mean, we've done the recruiting report, as you said. I know Harry was out, and he had great video of Caden Penny, and that's up. Check that out. Certainly worth watching if you haven't already on the YouTube page. Go ahead. You look like
two names that we talked about on the recruiting report, Josh, that maybe we could just dive into. You don't have to do each one of them, but Deacon Schmidt, T-Rod Richardson did take visits last week, and it certainly doesn't seem like there's any bells going off right now. For Deacon Schmidt, certainly, and I think T-Rod, Oklahoma still feels pretty good about his commitment. You talked to both of them. We had stories up on Sunday night.
Yeah, both were very quick and very responsive, super adamant that, hey, I'm still 100% with Oklahoma. Deacon Schmidt was 1,000% if you value the percentages differences there. But what I will say is it's different. Like I was talking to a buddy of ours, we all know him this morning, and we were talking about a kid making a trip 45 minutes down the road to go see the local team play BYU. Okay. Whatever. Is it nothing? No, probably not. Is it a big deal? Almost certainly not. T-Ron Richardson going from Virginia to Mississippi to take an official visit, I have a little more trouble writing that off as nothing. Like that's a bigger deal. To forget that we know Ole Miss is very, very active with NIL. They're going to do plenty there. They're not shy about any of that stuff. And then on the flip side of that, you also have Colorado's really not. So am I worried that Colorado can come in and change the numbers for Deacon Schmidt? No, not really. Could Ole Miss do that for T-Ron Richardson? Yeah, probably. So we'll have to kind of watch that. He's the one I'm certainly more alert to, but I do like that T-Ron immediately gets back with me and is like, no, I'm solid, I'm good, I'm locked in with OU. And I know, again, he's got a great relationship with Todd Bates. They really are close. They speak a lot. So there's plenty to say that OU is going to be fine, but you do have to kind of keep an eye on it.
Just wait for Todd Bates to come up with like a new anagram, like liar, if something goes wrong.
No, I want it to be like something with Whit Weeks. Like somehow he works Whit Weeks into an anagram. Like that would be amazing.
Oh, and Lane Kiffin's daughter at the same time somehow.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, like maybe some kind of word smash of their names. I don't know.
All right. So outside of that, anything coming up this weekend? Anybody you're getting ready to see that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, this is one of those weird. Like every once in a while, there's a weekend where I'm like, there's some games, but it's either guys I've already seen or somebody. Like you're starting to see. Like maybe a guy I was going to go see. Okay, OU's not quite as serious about that guy as I thought they were, or like you kind of see some pivots on that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of working out where I'm going to go. I'm starting to think I may go see Cooper Witten.
Hell yeah.
And that's largely because OU's coming up a lot with Cooper Witten right now. Like there are people that will tell you OU and A&M have separated themselves from everybody else.
They survived the Tennessee visit.
I was going to say, it sounds like Cooper Witten was down at College Station for the Auburn game last weekend, and it seemed like he had a really good time. Is that the two schools right now that have kind of vaulted to the front for his services?
That's the vibe I have. And I was speaking to somebody a little while ago, and I was told, and I said, what's the deal with Tennessee? Why is that not more prevalent with him? Like, I mean, I know we have a lot of younger listeners out there that maybe vaguely remember Jason Witten as a Dallas Cowboy. Jason Witten is a legend at Tennessee. He was, one of their all-time great players, just an unbelievable tight end. And, from what I can also gather, like his dad, I think this is correct, his dad was a really good high school coach. His brother still is. Like, so there's a lot of connections to the state that would be like, well, this is going to be tough. But what I was told is that Cooper has a lot of interest in playing for a defensive head coach. Like, he thinks that can be, like, there's some interest on that level. And again, for the people that want to talk about NIL, this is not a kid that has to care about that like a lot of kids do. Like, Cooper can just do what he thinks is best and what's going to be best for him. He's not worried about, taking care of his family. Like, he doesn't have to worry about those things. So I think that is a unique turn. And again, it's not like Oklahoma and A&M or the Little Sisters of the Poor or anything, but it's just they don't have to think about some of that kind of stuff. So I do hear Oklahoma and A&M a lot right now. Again, it's super early. I don't think he's anywhere near a decision or anything along those lines. But I am kind of interested to go see him on a Friday where, like I said, there's not a lot of games that I'm just over the moon. I got to go check somebody out.
And I would say that Cooper Witten's first 4 games of his season this year, unbelievable highlights. He had that game that we had talked about on the recruiting report a couple weeks ago that he forced 4 fumbles in the first half. It was something crazy.
Yes. He's been unbelievable. And again, the last time I saw Cooper in person was when he came and camped at OU and got an offer summer going into his sophomore year. So he hasn't, I haven't been in any camps he's been at. I just haven't been as exposed to him as I would like to be. And just watching him go to work, I think that sounds like a ton of fun. So I may make that trip up to Dallas. I swear I'm just burning up 45 right now between Houston and Dallas these last few weeks. But, like I said, though, I think you're starting to see in 27, you're starting to see some new focus on some new players. For example, Brent Venables and Brandon Hall, they went over and saw Broken Arrow last week. I think you're watching Samaj Stanford, the former Jinx safety that transferred to BA this year. He's about to become a real priority for Oklahoma. I think that's absolutely happening. Early on, they had their focus, on Eli Johnson, a guy that I still think they're very focused on, another San Antonio guy that Mikael McCreary knows that, maybe that'll help a little bit with. And then a guy named Jaquan Snell at Waxahachie. I just don't think Snell is all that likely. I think A&M kind of leads there, so Oklahoma might be pivoting. And again, I don't see that as a downgrade. I'm a huge Samaj Stanford fan. Eddie, you've heard me talk about him a lot. I think he's absolutely outstanding.
Josh, Jalen Brewster set to make his decision on Saturday. I think the Tech, predictions rolled in quickly. Do you expect any change there? And if there is a change, is Oklahoma even going to be involved, do you think?
I don't think there will be any change between now and Saturday. I want to be really clear that I don't think this will mark the end of anything. I think this is a kid making a decision, and then we'll see where it goes from there. I think, again, I have no doubt Tech is putting a serious number in front of this kid. I was laughing talking to, again, a reporter buddy of mine this morning, and we were talking about some of the stuff about, we love the NFL pedigree and the development and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, don't get me wrong, 5 years from now, Texas Tech's going to be able to make that argument because they're going to produce a lot of these big-time guys they're landing are going to become NFL guys. But right now, let's just be real about what it is. We don't have to play stupid about it or anything like that. And that's not me damning Texas Tech. They're playing, they have a hand to play, and they're playing it. Good for them, man. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't see it changing between now and Saturday. What I do think will be interesting is Jalen Brewster, again, big-time talent. I've said it before. I think he's as good a defensive tackle as come out of Texas in quite a while. I think he's really, truly a top 5-6 guy in the country. I think he's special. At the same time, does he want to go play in the Big 12 where he's unlikely to face future NFL offensive linemen all that often? He'll go put up numbers, but is he going to put stuff on tape that the NFL is going to be impressed by? And his father, was an NFL guy. So, there's a critical thinking to that I want to see how that plays out. And maybe it doesn't matter to him. And he's so good, he might be the Gerald McCoy, those kind of guys that it didn't even matter. Like, they're just that special, and that's fine. But I do wonder if that will impact his thinking as time goes on.
Yeah, obviously you just have to look at Cooper Hackett to realize that things aren't always a done deal when you think kids have just taken the bag. So, all right, I really don't have anything else left in the chamber to ask you about recruiting.
Okay. Well, I know we're not quite there, but before we get out there, I never have like a thing to add. I actually have a story from the weekend that simply has to be shared, and I have not shared it anywhere. So that will have to come up. I went to San Antonio to close on Mikhail McCreary. We'll start there.
Okay, tell the story.
I don't think we have anything else to talk about.
Okay. If we have nothing else. So, being an off week, I'm like, for those that, have no idea, and I totally get it, Thursdays, Fridays, and basically Saturdays, I am gone from my family. Like, I travel Thursdays and Fridays, and then Saturday all day, I'm like, I can't. I'm watching, football, and I'm trying to track all this stuff, and and obviously involved in the OU game. Not to nearly the degree you guys are, but still have work to do. So I am. My family is just like, Tiffany calls herself a football widow all off season. So I'm like, okay. Before the season, I'm like, hey, they've got an off week, September 27th. Let's go somewhere. So we decided we're going to go to San Antonio. We'll take the girls to SeaWorld. Like, we're fine. We'll have a good time. So we go, and we do the private tour with the killer whales, and we've got pictures of us like right next to them. It's actually kind of a cool little thing. All the stuff. The girls get to do everything, eat candy, everything. They have a great time. Well, we're getting close to the end, and we start riding some of the rides, and there is a ride there for those who have been called the Steel Eel. You can picture this if you've been there.
I've been on it.
Okay. So we ride it once. And the girls were terrified. They're scared to death. They're like, oh, this is going to be – my girls are 11 and 7. It's a big roller coaster for kids their age. But we're like, we're roller coaster people. You love it. It'll be fun. So we do it. And they're like, we want to go again. As soon as the ride's over, they want to go again. Okay, cool. So we jump back in line, and we're going to do it. As we're in line, on the first ride, I had checked my pockets, and I was like, oh, damn, my keys are still in here. Let me shove them a little deeper in my pocket.
Oh, no.
The second ride, George, and you've been on the ride. You go down just like with so many big roller coasters, you go down the first big dip, and then you immediately come up another one. Mm-hmm. As we're right at the peak of the second dip, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, there's something moving to my left. And I can, like you sense something out of the corner of your eye. I look over, and I can see it as clear as day. It's my keys, and they're just floating in the air.
Oh.
And because we're suspended. Like, we've come up to the top, and it felt like they were there for 10 seconds just hanging. And then all of a sudden, we dive back down, and the keys just plummet down below us, like just gone. And being the person I am, again, like, I just start laughing. I can't do anything else. I'm not even mad. I can't believe how stupid that was. I can't believe I just did that. We have no other keys with us. We have no keys in the city of San Antonio. God knows what I'm going to have to do to fix this problem. So we asked the people at the ride once we get off, and Tiffany, to her credit, doesn't scream at me, isn't like losing her mind, which would have been completely valid. She's just kind of like, all right, let's go see if we can find them. Because the people at the ride are like, we can't do anything. So we look. My girls are melting down. We get them some ice cream while me and Tiffany are digging through bushes because we know the basic area.
Yeah.
But it fell from 150 feet.
So it's outside of the, like,
this is a
structure
well,
where the...
It's
yes.
For those that don't know, the Steel Eel, like Josh said, I think it's 150 feet is the highest point. So you probably dropped it around that area. And it's like in like a green, there's like gardens and shit around there. And it's right by the water too, right, Josh? It's like there's like a big pond right by it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like where they do their water show in the middle of the park. It kind of runs over. But we were confident. Like, I was on the left side. It was out the left side. So we're like, okay, it should be to the left of the track. Like, we kind of knew that. And, I mean, guys, I'm walking around in restricted areas where it's telling me not to walk. And I'm like, F that, man. I'm looking for my damn keys. And finally, like, Tiffany and I are just like, okay, we're not going to find the damn things. Like, they're just gone. We've looked. I've got scratches all over me from digging through bushes and all this greenery and stuff. And I was like, you know what? We said we were going to walk down there. Let's walk down there. And Layla walks. She's like, I'm going to go with you, Daddy. So she walks down there with me. And I'm not kidding you guys. Like, I was literally turning around. It was over. And I just happened to see something glimmer. And I look over, and they're just sitting up in the dirt, probably 10 feet in front of me, like almost immediately underneath the track.
Wow.
It was the dumbest luck I've ever had in my life. But we were able to return. I was going to have to, like, fly back, get my truck, drive it all the way back. All of us drive back. Like, I was going to do I-10 like 3 times in 12 hours. It was going to be just an absolute shit show.
God works in mysterious ways.
I would have given up way long before that, and now I'm never getting on a roller coaster ever
Eddie,
again.
you would not have even had tried. You would not have tried.
Well, here's the thing. I probably wouldn't have been part of the
you wouldn't
the
have gone
traveling party. No, just to SeaWorld.
Yeah.
So,
Well, plus he loves San Antonio,
yeah, that's true too.
especially around Christmas time.
Why waste my time in San Antonio when I could go see all the great things downtown? You know, I have been to that. I've eaten with Shamu at that San Antonio SeaWorld, though.
Oh, nice. Now, Eddie, I mean, again, was that the hardest part about OU leaving the Big 12 for you? Is no more Alamo Bowls? Like, that door had closed.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. Although I do say when we talk about San Antonio all the time, I will say I love the Alamo Dome. I think that's a fantastic sporting event host place.
George and I will go for the food
I wish
anytime.
more places would copy it.
The city of San Antonio itself is blah to me, but the food at a few places is pretty good. The place we went was very good.
Even the touristy Mexican place we went was good, where Gavin Freeman came over and said hi to us.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I mean, we have higher expectations.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with Frida's. I mean, that's a great restaurant. Just Oklahoma City has stuff too.
Yeah, it's a much better. I mean, yeah. Oklahoma City is like Paris compared to San Antonio. From the food scene?
I don't think people like Paris as much anymore. I don't think it's
whatever. London, wherever.
London,
a really good
not
culinary city or metropolis.
All right,
London is
here's
not a great culinary.
Here's the question of the day: what's the better job, Arkansas or Oklahoma State?
I think we talked about this last week some. And
did we?
It's Oklahoma State. To me.
Oklahoma State, I think, is what we kind of said.
Because it's easier to win.
Easier to win.
Yep.
I just find it.
Arkansas,
Your
the
talent
athletic
is gonna
director,
be more in line with the people you play.
Their athletic director.
He basically came out and said, "We don't have any money."
Yeah.
Which I like. Arkansas, like reporters have kind of pushed back on that and been like, "You're lying about that."
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird. I think everybody that is.
I mean, they want to hire Bobby Petrino.
Doesn't it seem like everybody that's in this mix or this this situation where they're looking for coaches, you can look past the head coaching job into the athletic department and go, "Oh, that's not how that's supposed to be."
Yeah. You know,
even UCLA's athletic director's been under a lot of pressure.
Arkansas
lately.
has a general manager, but it's somebody from the Boston Celtics.
I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
It does seem like they really want to hire Bobby Petrino, which would be incredible if they just ran it back from 2012.
Guys, I think they could do a lot worse. Like, whatever you can say about Bobby Petrino, if you can stomach who he is and what he's about, guy can coach, man.
Yeah.
Like, whatever else.
I just think if you hire him, he'll be there until like 3 years. And then they'll realize, oh, this guy he's not successful in this new age of college football.
I was going to say, is Bobby Petrino someone who will like accept and buy into the idea of having to go out and spend a ton of money to get guys going to the portal? I honestly don't know.
Could he work with like a Jim Nagy type? And allow someone else to make personnel decisions.
His thoughts on that stuff. So I have no clue.
Are we okay? Now I can buy the argument that he might not work with somebody else, like a GM or something like that. But like,
Josh just froze up on us.
Straight up. It's crazy.
It's been a while since that's happened.
I think what he was about to say is, are we of the opinion that he's above, doing some dirty stuff to go help win. Like,
I think that would definitely be online.
I just don't know. Like, is he
going
to be like the an NIL king type of situation?
Wasn't he the guy that was leaving for Auburn in the middle of the night when he was at Louisville? Or am I confusing him with somebody else?
I remember his name being involved somewhere else, but I don't remember if it was Auburn.
And then that's when he ended up at Arkansas when Louisville was like, "Fine, get out."
Who would you hire if you were OSU?
I'm kind of keen on the idea that you've thrown out there with Eric Morris.
Yeah,
that's in North Texas. I think though that if I had a choice, why not roll the ball with Zach Robinson? I like Zach.
I think Zach's just because you like him doesn't mean he'd be a great head coach.
I think Zach's in the same situation as we kind of put Ben Arbuckle in sometimes, which is, has he really been in a program long enough to see?
Well, at the college level, no.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been in the NFL, I think, from day one.
And that's
outside of like doing some GA stuff.
I think that like this idea to just go hire somebody who, is an OSU grad and you like him and he's had some good success at the NFL level. Like, if I'm OSU, I think you need to start completely over and not get somebody without OSU ties.
That's just so out of their mold that they've basically gone off of over the last, and obviously they haven't been in the spot with football for the last 20-something years, but any hire that they've made, it's always been someone like, I think the basketball coach up there was the first one that really was kind of out of that network.
Yeah, and I guess the Zach Robinson hire is also like if you hire Eric Morris and he comes in and does a great job for 3 years, I think he's going to get hired somewhere else. Whereas Zach Robinson, if he comes in, he might not ever leave.
Sure. I do like North Texas quarterback, though, the kid from Austin, and maybe he comes with. I don't know what Haas Henney's situation is going to be when it's all said and done, but
also I understand Haas Henney played well for a half against UT Martin.
Not even half, like 3 series.
But like it's like this. I feel like the narrative around him is like, well, he'll come back and they'll be even better, and like maybe he could be the guy of the future.
I don't think that. I mean, I just think that there was a lot to like with what he did
against UT Martin for 3 possessions.
Sure. But that's all you can base it off.
But
of, right?
I still think, like, if Mike was still coaching,
I got you,
Baylor
OSU
game,
fans. George tried to shit on you. I respect the neon palm.
I think that Baylor game isn't nearly as close as it was if Mike's still coaching.
No, I don't think that.
I don't think it would show any signs of life.
I think we talked about it in the war room on Saturday during that OSU Baylor game, but it's a little bit of an indictment. Mike Gundy, that you look up and they're doing all these things offensively when for the last 4 or 5 years they've just always passed the buck to the offense coordinator. It was always his fault, when in reality was it Mike Gundy that was kind of holding this thing back from an offensive standpoint? I don't know. Not on the
and
inner
maybe
workings.
he just got used to micromanaging it with what's his name, Casey Dunn. Casey Dunn,
and then obviously Doug Meacham now.
Yeah.
It's a bad situation, though. I mean, it's tough to look at Oklahoma State's schedule, and I can't find it.
The next 2 weeks is when they have to win Arizona and Houston.
Yeah,
because I don't know how good UCF is yet, but
I think they're good. They're good enough to beat this OSU team.
Yeah. If they don't win in the next 2 weeks, they won't win a Big 12 game,
which would be 2 years.
Yeah,
which is like from where I know that we talked about this last week, but like where this thing came from, to imagine that OSU hasn't won a FBS game, and I think it's now 15 games. It's crazy.
And I'm not saying this to be mean or screw with OSU fans, but it's like this secret billionaire that they've got waiting in the wings that this story that they've made up. Like maybe it is, but apparently this guy has to sell his company for $1 billion first before he's a billionaire.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you haven't heard all this stuff? I guess I hang around Teabag too much. So apparently, and I guess Carson put this out there on Pistols Firing podcast and Colby too, but apparently there's this guy has this massive company that's like really hot and people want to buy it for like $1 billion, and he's willing to sell it. And if he does, he's on record as saying he's going to fund OSU football.
That's amazing. That's like a
but I don't know if that's
Cody
real
Campbell
or not.
Dream.
I don't know if that's real or not, and I don't think OSU fans believe it.
Well,
but I don't know if it's real.
If it's true, I would definitely. If I was that guy, I would sell that company and get the $1 billion. Well, then you start worrying about everything else.
What's he waiting on?
Yeah,
for the company to sell.
I know, but like, can he not just go sell it?
To like find somebody that is going to give him $1 billion? Is it like
Yeah,
valued
people
at
don't
$1
just
billion?
throw around billions of dollars.
I don't know. There's a lot of people these days just throwing around billions of dollars.
Maybe he's going to sell it to the Saudis, to the fund.
That would be sick. We support that.
I saw they were buying something for $55 billion. The Saudis or Saudis.
I'm sure they are.
They bought EA Sports.
Oh, EA Sports. That's what it was.
They bought EA Sports.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
That's crazy.
So that's officially gone through now?
That's what I had seen.
Okay.
I can't remember who I was listening to talking about that.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I
That is
couldn't remember.
Crazy. Welcome back, Josh.
Yes, welcome back.
Yeah, sorry. I thought it was you guys. I was like, oh, damn, their internet went out. And I was like, wait a second. I can't do anything here.
Here's question number 2. How many more games do you think it'll be before Jackson Arnold gets benched if he keeps up what we've seen?
Like a half?
You don't think he'll make it through the next game?
No.
Not
They play
if
Georgia.
they are terrible.
Yeah.
I think they'll have to. Their hands are going to be kind of full.
It should have been last game.
Yeah.
And I feel like I thought Jackson played all right against OU. Like he had some moments, but like it's very clear watching him, he just does not
He's
see
paralyzed.
the field. And he just is so worried about making the big mistake that he won't let it rip. And I honestly just don't think he sees the field very well at all.
I mean, Hugh Freeze will make a move before it ultimately costs him his job.
Oh, yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
And I don't think, unlike OU, I don't think they're going to be going back to Jackson once he's benched.
Auburn?
No, because they've got the Deuce Knight kid. Like, they want to sell the future with him.
Yeah.
Exactly. So. You can sell your future of a program and say, hey, we're going to build around this guy. It's what Napier did last year with DJ Lagway, and we've come to find out maybe there wasn't something there.
Also, congratulations to friend of the program, Dylan Gabriel, for being named the Brown starter this week.
Pretty crazy, man. That stat about Oklahoma, every quarterback is going to be starting.
Yeah, we were talking about that this morning.
It's
George,
crazy.
The stat, your tweet you put out.
I didn't. Oh, I quote tweeted it. I don't. Somebody else put it.
It was like PFF drill or something. Shout out.
Yeah. But yeah, it's insane.
It's crazy.
Baker Mayfield.
I mean, unfortunately, Jackson Arnold will break the streak, but
yeah,
Spencer,
Baker, Kyler,
Caleb,
Jalen, Spencer,
and then
Caleb,
Dylan. There's 6 of them.
It's just all starters.
Crazy.
It's crazy. Been pretty
good for Dylan though. I have no idea if he'll be any good in the NFL, but I know
he
he'll
can't
be
any worse than Flacco was.
Right. But I think he'll be well prepared. That's for sure.
I think he's going to have a great game because he's from Hawaii. He's used to long plane rides.
There you go.
So flying over to London's not going to be that big of a deal. He's not.
Who do they play?
Minnesota. Who's over there for the second straight week?
They can beat Minnesota.
Beat Carson Wentz? Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, happy for Dylan, though.
Yeah, it's cool.
5-star dude for sure. Anyway, anything else you guys want to hit on before we get out of here?
I don't think so.
Kid State coming up this weekend, full coverage.
What's the big games this weekend? I don't even know.
Miami and Florida State Saturday night. I kind of find like it's another Big 12 sicko game, but I find Cincinnati, Iowa State to be somewhat interesting. I think Scott Satterfield's done a little bit better job than I thought he was going to be doing in Cincinnati. And I think the Swearsby kid, the quarterback, he can rip it a little bit.
You got, unfortunately, your Big 12 matchup Friday is West Virginia, BYU. West Virginia, my God. Zach Alley, oof.
Maybe not so much. That's a full rebuild, though. They lost basically everybody.
The entire
it might not
team,
be the worst thing.
Wisconsin, Michigan.
Florida.
Wisconsin's at Michigan.
Luke Fickell might get fired this weekend. I think they have a bye week coming up next week.
Who does Lincoln Riley have this weekend? Are they off?
USC, I think, might be off this week.
Because next weekend they play Michigan.
Michigan, right. I guess the big one, game day is going down to Tuscaloosa. Let's see what Alabama can do with Vanderbilt coming to town. I don't know where I'm at on Vanderbilt. They're kind of in that group of, I think they're pretty good. Are they like a college football playoff contender? I don't know, Josh.
Well, to me, the question for me is like, I don't think they're on that level. But for me, this is about Alabama. Like, can they handle a mobile quarterback? Just about every time a quarterback has been run heavy, they've struggled since Kalen DeBoer got there. And I think that's a Kane Womack thing, not a Kalen DeBoer thing. But like, it's really interesting because when they've played these traditional offenses, they shut them down. But if you've got a guy that can move around, can do some RPO stuff, like they really struggle with that. And obviously Diego Pavia is that kind of dude. So I think it'll be kind of a fun game, but just something tells me a motivated Alabama is not going to let this one slip away.
There are a few good games, and there are some really terrible games this weekend. UCLA just lost to Northwestern last week.
They did.
I mean, they play Penn State. That's going to be an awful game.
They're not going to win a game.
Yeah, there's a chance they do not win a game.
What's the
game
chance
all year.
Alabama just kicks the ever-loving shit out of Vanderbilt?
There's a chance.
Yeah.
I don't think they will, though.
In
I think
Tuscaloosa.
Vanderbilt's got... I think they're
Revenge
well coached
game.
enough. I think they've got a veteran quarterback. They'll hang around. But
Can Mississippi State hang around in College Station this weekend?
Yeah.
I thought that like Mississippi State's Jeff Levy's done a great job down there, and I was talking to somebody the other day. Like, has he done a good enough job if they go win 7-8 games this year that if that Florida job came open, would Jeff Levy, his name, get involved in something like that?
I think they're going to go after Lane Kiffin.
Sure,
but
they will.
Say
And
Old
the
Miss
other
wins.
problem is, think of the last time they went to Mississippi State for a head coach.
Yeah, Dan
They went
Mullen.
and got Dan Mullen. And now, they couldn't be more different in the way they view things. I mean, because Levy's a hell of a recruiter.
Sure.
So, like, I would think that would be a mistake on Florida's part to write it off like that. But I bet you money they know their fans would riot, even if they shouldn't.
I guess my question on Levy too is just, with his connection to Art Briles, obviously being his father-in-law, has that stuff died down to where a school would look at him, say maybe in Arkansas or something,
What
and
about
you
Auburn?
go, great question. Like, I just don't know if, like, has he won enough done enough at Mississippi State?
If Mississippi State wins 8 games this year, he should be the SEC Coach of the Year.
Yeah,
Yes.
I could agree with that.
Yes. You talk
Unless
about a
OU goes
rebuilt
undefeated.
team. What do they have, 70 new players? Like, it was some insane number like that.
Yeah. He's done a good job identifying. I think Blake Shapen, what we saw from him at Baylor, I liked him as a freshman. I mean, he played really well against Oklahoma State in that Big 12 title game. Wasn't that the game that he completed like 16 of his first 16 passes? He started the game without an incompletion.
That's right. Yeah.
By the way,
I've forgotten that, Eddie.
I had this question to myself the other day. How close is Kendall Briles to getting a head coaching job somewhere? It's been a while.
Yeah. It's another good
separation is faded a lot of the past, and it was Art where everything fell on. He's just out there being a good coordinator. Somebody's going to take a chance at some point.
That was that was the second straight year that TCU's blown a 17-point lead in the first in the conference opener. They did it last year against Central Florida in a crazy game.
Yeah.
I mean, he's turned Josh Hoover into a really nice player, and I don't think enough people talk about him. That kid's good.
And I don't think Rhett Lashley is leaving SMU anytime soon.
I don't either.
Not for the jobs that he's being mentioned
Arkansas.
for. Yeah.
What I think would be interesting, I think we all agree that Dabo probably won't get fired. But if, let's say, Dabo left at the end of the season, who would Clemson go after? That's a job that if Jeff Lebby won 7-8 games, would Clemson go after a Jeff Lebby? Or would they go after
what if they went after Tony Elliott? He just won a big game at Virginia.
They've not been very good.
I know.
I think that was kind of a fluky deal.
Well, if not for the tragedy, he probably still wouldn't be there with the shooting that happened.
Yeah. What about Clemson and I don't know, Kiffin or something? I don't know. I've thought about this. Like if they were to move on from Dabo, or if he were to leave and say, I'm done with this.
I don't know.
What about Fran Brown at Syracuse? Talk about kind of full circle.
I like Fran Brown.
What if Dion moves
too.
on? What if Dion moves on from Colorado?
I don't think he's going to be like. I just don't get the impression, unless it was an NFL job, that he would sign.
What
back
exactly
up to go to
has
college.
Dion done?
Nothing.
That people are like.
That's why I'm saying, why
know.
would he leave? He would leave because he's running from getting fired.
I don't think they'll fire him at Colorado because he's made them relevant. But like he had one decent year at Colorado.
By the way, should Miami have a claim to the number 1 spot if they can impressively beat Florida State this weekend?
I think Miami has done more than just about anybody this season so far.
Agreed.
They've been incredibly
Do you give Florida
impressive.
State a chance at home in that game?
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
Especially coming off a loss.
Guys, because that was the thing, and I don't think I actually finished what I was talking about earlier. So we were talking about, like, is OU a top 5 team? Is there a team out there that you think has a better combination of quarterback and defense than Oklahoma does with a healthy John Mateer?
I think Carson Beck is playing well.
Miami's the only one I could argue for.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's just because Sayin is so young at Ohio State. I mean,
if Ty Simpson keeps playing the way he is,
I don't think Alabama has an elite defense this year, though.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Dante Moore would be in the conversation. He would kind of be like what George is talking about.
Yeah,
Dante Moore.
Oregon
playing well. Okay, I could buy that. Yeah.
Was Dan Lanning on drugs Saturday night? It's kind of indefensible.
Woo.
What about Missouri?
What
I mean,
about
they haven't played anybody. I know,
just
but
in terms of what they
if
are.
If they keep winning the way they are, Bo Prabula's been
I'm pretty sure
awesome.
Missouri's the only team in the country in top 5 in offense and defense efficiency.
So far, statistically.
Don't they have more rushing yards per game than throwing, though? I mean, their team built on their run game.
Yeah, but their quarterback, Prabula's been phenomenal.
I think that there's a lot of people in Happy Valley right now that think that they held on to the wrong quarterback.
And he was the guy that entered before the bowl game because he wanted a spot, right?
Yep. When are OU fans going to accept that Eli Drinkwitz is a good football
Never.
coach?
Now, is he somebody that could get poached?
He's good, guys.
Could he get poached?
I don't know what that step
Florida
would be.
could do a lot worse than him.
Yeah?
A lot worse.
Yeah, Florida.
I'd agree.
Clemson, if Clemson were to come open, I think that would be a good
an
fit.
interesting one because he's got some ties to that area. That's right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Is it no doubt, no questions asked, Clemson's a better job than Missouri? Like just SEC versus ACC. Was Clemson anything before Dabo?
I think Clemson's...
No, they weren't.
No, but I think Clemson's a better job.
Okay. I don't know
recruiting
either way.
territory alone.
Recruiting territory, you can win the ACC every single year.
And if the ACC ever falls apart, Clemson's fine. They're going to end up somewhere big. It's just a matter of where.
Yeah. I agree.
And the other one that's going to be interesting is if Beamer were to leave for Virginia Tech. Who does South Carolina go after?
If you're Levy, would you be interested in that? Like, is South Carolina that big of a step up from Mississippi State? I think it is, but I'm not sure.
The one thing that we haven't talked about, too, with Mississippi State, I don't know if Levy would leave Zach Selman.
Depends on the job.
That's true.
I mean, if Florida, I think South Carolina, probably not. But if Florida came calling, I think it'd be hard to leave.
Or if, OU still has an athletic director search going on.
Yeah.
If Zach Selman were to leave to come back here, would that make it
there's
easier
also
for him
some
to
talk,
leave Starkville?
There's some talk that Florida might be doing a complete overhaul. They could be firing, is it
Foley?
Strickland.
Yeah,
Strickland, and maybe they just say, we're just going to go poach Selman and Levy.
That'd be an incredible coup for Florida, I think.
Tennessee, I mean, they walked into a great position because they hired Danny White from UCF, and then he brought in Heupel, which I think a lot of fans were torn on.
A lot of people thought it was ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's worked out. I'll give it up to Josh Heupel, man. We don't talk about him enough as a head coach, and that was a tough loss last year, but, man, he's done I mean, Josh, I know you and I both were like, well, man, they're going to be bad on defense this year. They lost too many people, and damn it if they aren't pretty good on both sides of the ball. I mean, clearly they're letting people score on them, but, they're still winning.
Sure. Yeah, well, I mean, again, like you lose all that, you're going to have some regression. It's going to happen. But, I mean, they're okay. They're not terrible or anything. Kerry, that's one of the ones I'll own more than anything. I was like, that's a bad hire. This is going to be a problem. He won't recruit like they want him to recruit. Now, he's been helped by NIL, and, Tennessee's been really, really good about their whole setup. Like, they're very organized and do a good job with all of that. So, there's things that I couldn't have foreseen, but I didn't think it was a great hire. And Josh has gotten, I mean, guys, that program was just adrift for 15, 20 years there.
Yeah, you had Butch Jones, and then you had a bad guy.
Jeremy Pruitt?
Jeremy Pruitt, yeah.
Yeah, God, I was blanking on his name. Absolutely.
All right, well, it's going to be great seeing some football again this weekend. Bye week sucked for us, trust me. We did like watching football, but
it's awesome.
We also enjoy covering college football on the weekend. So, Josh, appreciate you coming back after getting kicked off, and thanks to Eddie and George as well. Keep checking out all the podcasts that we've got up. You can subscribe just alone to the Oklahoma practice report, the Oklahoma City's recruiting report, the game day preview, all that on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts. So thanks everybody for listening. Also remember, great time to sign up at the website, just $1, and lots of good stuff coming with conference play, with the heart of conference play getting ready to start, especially with the Red River rivalry. That'll do it. We'll be back again next week for another edition of the Unofficial 40 podcast right here on Soonerscoop.com.